All right, with that being said, we have Candace Owens now, who is talking about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Now, she's talking about how she was friends with Charlie, but she is blaming one source in particular that just doesn't make any sense, guys. And she's blaming Isreal, and she's specifically blaming the Jewish billionaires that back Isreal. And so in this clip, she's talking about Bill Ackman and Seth Dillon. Seth Dillon is the guy that runs the Babylon Bee. And so I'm just going to play this clip for you, and I might have another one for you, I might not. But here's what Candace has been saying about Charlie Kirk's assassination over the past couple days.
Denied, and what Bibi didn't include there.
I'll preface this by saying he did deny a trip to Israel that they were planning for him to go to a couple months back. All during when Israel was about to strike Iran, he was rumored to be very disappointed with that, in strong opposition to that, against President Trump, against Netanyahu behind the scenes.
He declined to go to Israel for, I would describe this as like, re-education camp. We've seen it. You made an uh-oh, but we can help you. We just need you to come out to Auschwitz and take a picture. Yeah. We just need you to come to the Holocaust Museum and take a photo. We just need you to go to Israel and we can make this better. Charlie said no to Bibi. Okay. Bill Ackman, if you would like to dispute that, I would love to hear what you say happened, because our sources and what we have, it's solid. Okay, there were conversations that took place, messages that were sent at that time, and they are solid. So I decided another person that was there, and I am not surprised this person was there. If you've been listening to my show, Seth Dillon, I was going to go out to Seth Dillon, and I decided to message him last night about this Hamptons meeting. And Seth Dillon, who is normally very quick with a response, has not yet been able to respond. I'll show you this text message chain. And I want to be clear, I am not someone who normally publicizes text messages. But my friend was shot in the neck, and I'm just not really in the state right now to be polite when it comes to the answers that I am demanding, okay? This is me out to Seth Dillon.
This is the conversation, obviously, with Candace and Seth Dillon. You could pause the video, you could look at it. I'm not going to play it for you. So here's the problem now. What Candace Owens is saying, and by the way, I'm not somebody that is a big fan of Isreal. I'm very critical of Isreal, and I was very critical of Charlie Kirk when he continued to shill for Isreal over the past 6 months or so. Now that Charlie has been killed and assassinated, she is going on this tirade, bringing forth conspiracy theories that Isreal was behind Charlie Kirk's assassination. Now, there's one problem. She has brought zero proof. It's all speculation right now. She's saying that Netanyahu, that Bill Ackman, that Seth Dillon, that all of these Zionist forces came together in opposition to Charlie Kirk when Charlie Kirk was their biggest young defender, their biggest defender to potentially influence Gen Z to be pro-Israel again. And so this doesn't make sense that Israel would be behind the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Now, there was a report that he was offered about $150 million in cash for Turning Point USA by Bibi Netanyahu. He turned it down, allegedly. And there was the report of him going against the Trump administration, going against Israel privately because he didn't believe in the bombing of Iran during the 12-day war. Now, eventually that was all turned around and he supported the president. It was what it was. But people are saying, there are these reports, mainly by Candace Owens, that he was probably going against Israel and may have been killed because they thought he would turn. Now, the only problem is, like I said, all of the evidence online prior to his assassination is contrary to that opinion. I mean, like, you go time and time again, there's evidence of him debunking Reuters when they say, hey, Israel did this, this, and this. What about the genocide in Gaza? He defends it. What about this, this, and this? He says, we shall bless Israel. We must bless Israel. All of that. He was essentially a shill, and this is not to make fun of him. This is not to make light of the assassination. This is not to make fun of Charlie Kirk or demean his assassination in any way. It was brutal, and he was a force for good in this world. He promoted Christianity. He promoted conservatism to whatever degree. In my opinion, he was a moderate, but it goes without saying. What she's doing now is she's kind of using her friendship with Charlie Kirk and trying to twist it a little bit. And you could tell in like the emotions on her face, you could tell in the way she's delivering these sentences that she's doing it for her own gain in some way. And she's kind of making herself look stupid in the aftermath. Because when you make these accusations, these really, really heavy accusations, and you have zero proof, zero proof, it's not going to turn out well for you. And there's other people that are doing this too in mainstream conservatism, but they're not coming out and they're saying it. They're making guesses, educated guesses, inferences, saying maybe, hypothetically, I could see a world where maybe Isreal was angry at Charlie Kirk because he was asking questions. He was asking questions over the past couple weeks. There's that viral clip of him talking to Ben Shapiro and saying, hey, after COVID, after BLM, after all of this stuff, I've been conditioned to ask questions, and I would not be doing it justice. I'm not going to pull up the clip. I wouldn't be doing myself justice, my listeners justice, if I didn't start asking questions about Isreal. And there's another video, too, from, I believe, last year, where he's talking about Jewish billionaires and Zionist billionaires and that they're a problem, whatever. But that's it. Like, we have zero evidence that he was going to turn against Isreal. He was their biggest tool. And people don't understand this, too. I've been getting texts. I'm a small political commentator, small YouTube account. Almost zero emotion. But people have told me, they've come to me and be like, hey, have you looked into this? And it's the same thing. It's Isreal may have been behind Charlie Kirk's assassination. It's like, no. Like, now that Charlie Kirk is dead, do you realize, Candace Owens, that Isreal has, like, zero influence over Gen Z? He was the number one. He was the only influencer that had any influence over Gen Z when it came to Isreal. Like, there are no pro-Isreal people on the right, at least, after this. And there's no pro-Isreal people on the left. Think about Isreal now. Think about this country now. Think about what Netanyahu thinks after Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. He was a great friend to Isreal, as Bibi says. He's right. Now they have to act sooner because they have nobody fighting for them speaking to Gen Z. There's nobody to push the propaganda. And I hate to say it, but he was pushing some form of propaganda when talking about Isreal. But this whole thing, Candace, it's not working. And I'm going to pull up one more thing, and then we'll continue to talk about the next topic over here. But Charlie Kirk is having a memorial on Sunday, and a lot of people in the conservative movement were announced. People like Trump, RFK, J.D. Vance, Tucker Carlson, etc. So Charlie's memorial had this big guest of people, and I believe it's in Arizona. I could be wrong. But a bunch of speakers in the right wing, like I just mentioned, were scheduled. And notice who's not scheduled for this memorial. So I will pull this up on the screen for you, and this is the invitation, the remembering of Charlie Kirk. So you have the graphic right here. Erica Kirk, his widow, his wife, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance. Remarks are also delivered by these people. Marco Rubio, RFK, Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, Donald Trump Jr., Tucker, Stephen Miller, Sergio Gore, Suzanne Scott. Where's Candace Owens? Where's Candace Owens? So you think, or you would think, that maybe Erica Kirk was offended about all this stuff about Isreal being involved in her husband's killing when it literally just happened. I mean, that's all. Is that not a little bit odd to you? Does that make like a little bit of sense? Like, you realize Isreal now is it more of a disadvantage? And again, not somebody pro-Israel. Very anti-Israel in all that they're doing right now. But like, do you understand? Put two and two together. It doesn't make sense. So that's what she must not be thinking. She must not have her head on correctly today. And it's quite mad. It's quite mad. This whole episode is basically going to be about the fallout of the Charlie Kirk assassination.